On May 11th, 2025, a video posted to the Sports Card Investor YouTube channel showcased a troubling incident involving prominent influencers Card Collector 2 and Jeff Wilson, raising serious concerns about the promotion of youth gambling. The video, centered around a box battle, took a disturbing turn when a group of preteens and teens gathered around the influencers and began placing real money bets on the outcome. Instead of intervening and addressing the impropriety of underage gambling, Card Collector 2 and Sports Card Investor appear to condone, if not actively encourage, the behavior. It is pretty apparent in the comments of the video that Jeff Wilson neither cares nor understands the impact of his content. This endorsement of gambling among a youth and impressionable audience is highly irresponsible and potentially harmful. The sports card hobby, while often involving an element of chance, should not be directly linked to explicit monetary wagering, especially when minors are involved. The dangers of youth gambling extend far beyond a single event. Studies consistently show that adolescents are more vulnerable to developing gambling addictions because their brains are still developing impulse control and decision-making skills. Early exposure to gambling can foster dangerous habits that extend into adulthood, leading to compulsive gambling, financial instability, and mental health struggles such as depression and anxiety. For children and teenagers, what begins as a seemingly harmless bet with peers can spiral into a lifelong struggle with addiction. Research paints a clear picture of the scale of the issue. A University of Pennsylvania study found that 2.9 million young people aged 14 to 22 in the US gamble for money, with around 580,000 doing so online, despite many being underage. Among college students, nearly 1 in 5 admit to using student loans to fund gambling, with approximately 250,000 identified as problem gamblers and 400,000 more at risk. Half of all students reported gambling in the past year, with many spending as much on betting as they did on food. In Connecticut, a 2019 survey revealed that 25.4% of high school students had gambled within the past year. Among them, 17.4% were at risk, and 10.4% met criteria for problem gambling. International findings mirror these trends. In Spain, nearly 60% of 16 to 25-year-olds reported gambling, while the European SPAD study found that 22.6% of 16-year-olds had gambled in the past year across 33 countries. Meta-analysis globally estimate that between 40 and 70% of adolescents gamble, with problem gambling rates ranging from 0.2% to 12%. In Canada, 61.4% of youth aged 15 to 24 gambled in the past year, with 2.22% categorized as moderate risk or problem gamblers. Adding to the concern is the influential power of online personalities like Card Collector 2 and Sports Card Investor. Influencers hold immense sway over their audiences, often blurring the line between entertainment and endorsement. By normalizing gambling behaviors, whether through box breaks, pack battles, or casual betting, these figures implicitly send the message that wagering money is an acceptable and even glamorous part of the hobby. Research shows that up to 66% of UK children and young people have been exposed to gambling and advertising on social media, while influencers playing a major role in presenting gambling as risk-free entertainment. Similarly, in Australia, approximately 900,000 adolescents aged 12 to 19 gambled in the past year, spending an estimated $231 million, with social media and influencer culture fueling the normalization of betting. The rise of gambling-like mechanisms in modern hobbies only compounds the issue. The parallels between sports card pack openings and slot machines are striking. Both rely on chance, create excitement through unpredictability, and foster the thrill of chasing a big win. This dynamic has already been identified in debates surrounding loot boxes in video games, which many regulators now recognize as a form of gambling. Studies show that adolescents exposed to gambling-style mechanics are significantly more likely to develop risky behaviors, particularly when such practices are endorsed by influencers they admire. Nearly 30% of Australian children aged 12 to 17 reported gambling in the past year, with exposure to influencer gambling content linked to heightened future risk. Youth are uniquely vulnerable due to their stage of brain development. Adolescents' incomplete frontal cortex development impairs judgment and impulse control, making them more susceptible to addictive behaviors, including gambling. The parasocial relationships they form with influencers further intensify the risk. When a trusted influencer glamorizes gambling, Young viewers are more likely to adopt the behaviors themselves. Social media then compounds the danger, as peer pressure and perceived social norms amplify the urge to participate, especially when everyone else is doing it. Moreover, the commercial incentives behind such promotions cannot be ignored. Influencers benefit from increased views, sponsorships, and engagement when they stage high-drama, gambling-like spectacles. This creates a dangerous feedback loop in which entertainment value is prioritized over ethical responsibility. Instead of safeguarding their audiences, especially minors, many influencers exploit the very behaviors that put vulnerable viewers at risk. Ultimately, the May 11th incident should serve as a wake-up call. The sports card community must reckon with the consequences of intertwining gambling with a hobby that has always attracted young collectors. Influencers, in particular, carry a responsibility to model safe and responsible behavior, setting clear boundaries between collecting for enjoyment and gambling for profit. If boundaries are not respected, the line between hobby and harmful addiction will only continue to blur, placing the next generation of collectors in jeopardy.